I'm back. Hello, guys, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptor. I'm your host, Ehtisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, the Raptors had their game today against the Memphis Grizzlies in Memphis, and the Raptors came out winning that one. It was the fifth game on the six-game road trip, and Scottie Barnes had a bounce back game, and I will tell you guys exactly why Scottie Barnes was struggling. I did deep, dark web research on this. Okay, so stay tuned for that, and it will be my last key takeaway. But without further ado, let's talk Raptors versus Memphis Grizzlies. So, just like how we've gotten used to in the season, the Raptors came out a little bit bland. Ja Morant was getting what he wanted in the paint. So was Desmond Bain. So was Dylan Brooks. The Raptors just weren't doing a good job. And by the end of the half, we did have a good second quarter where Scottie Barnes kind of bounced back and had 15 points in that quarter. And, he did a pretty good job getting to the bucket. He had a half-court three-point this highlight play where I think at the end of the half, he just does a half-court shot, swoosh, right in the net, and that kind of gave him a little bit of confidence as well. I think, no, it was the first quarter that he did that. Anyways, so, and then, going at the halftime, we gave away 71 points by, the end of first half. We're down by 12, 59-71. And third quarter, I guess the Raptors just flipped the switch, came out with defensive energy, locked them down, and, got everything going offensively. Precious Achua just turned into freaking Kevin Durant or, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, damn, man, shooting. Well, not Giannis if he's shooting threes, because Giannis can't shoot shit threes. But, he's shooting threes. I think he had 3 for 3 from the three-point line, getting to the bucket, Euro step, doing everything he possibly can. And he had 17 points in the third quarter. And that got Raptors back into the game. Then came the fourth quarter, and then out of nowhere, Gary Trent Jr. decided to go off, and Mr. Fourth Quarter, I would say, because he was going off too, like 3-point shot falling on his ass because he was getting fouled, but mid-rangers getting to the bucket, everything. I think he scored he scored almost 17 points in the fourth quarter as well, and he got the Raptors back into the game because it was constantly this. The Raptors kept tying it. Memphis comes back, Raptors tie it, Memphis takes the lead, Raptors tie it, Memphis takes the lead. It's going back and forth, but the Raptors just can't get a lead. And I just, I kept saying it to, my wife, that as soon as we take that lead, we will win this game. Why? Because the Memphis Grizzlies are a young team. Seeing their 12-point, 14-point, 15-point lead deteriorate, they are going to panic and they are going to take shots that are not in their favor. And that's exactly what they started to do. They started to force things. And I guess we got to thank Dylan Brooks for talking trash, the little bitch. Was talking trash throughout the whole game like he's doing something out of this world. And that kind of pissed the Raptors off, and they made a comeback and eventually won the game by 13 points, 126-113. And you should have seen Dylan Brooks' face. You shouldn't be talking trash this early in your career. Like, you guys are just getting to the precipice of what we've been for a very long time. But let's get into the key takeaways, because I know you guys want to hear my last key takeaway of why Scottie Barnes was struggling. Number one today, guys, one thing I've noticed is that injuries are really hurting the Raptors. And unfortunately, it's part of the game. But it just seems like every time we get somebody back, somebody else goes. Like today, Ken Burch was out. We finally got Yuta Watanabe back. But, OG's been gone for a while. And it's throwing off the rhythm because I get Nick Nurse is in a difficult position where he has to come up with, a person based on matchups. And it's leading to chemistry issues because guys haven't gotten too many games together. And the only good thing, knock on wood, is that the Raptors are getting these issues out of them in the start of the season. And once we get our, rhythm going and hopefully everybody stays healthy, because we will make it to the playoffs, it will change the momentum for us. The second thing I see, guys, is that the energy. It seems like the Raptors every now and then just come out of a game where they do not have that energy. And it's constantly against teams that we know we should be beating. and we end up going back, going down, and then we have to make a comeback. And it just seems like there's a halftime, and then Nick Nurse yells at them, or punches them in the face. I don't know what the hell he does. We come out in the third quarter, we make a push. Sometimes we do win, like today we did, and sometimes we don't. So it's like the energy for the Raptors is coming and going, and again, that has to do with the chemistry, playing with the guys together, enjoying the game together, and when you're playing with guys constantly, you can expect what they're going to do. You can predict what they're going to do, and you can expect them to respect your game as well and give you the ball as well. So that's kind of like, one thing I saw, like the energy increases as, people tend to play together, and that I think the injuries are leading into us not having that energy constantly. The third key takeaway, guys, is the bench unit. So when the Raptors made a comeback, and that led to Gary Trent Jr. getting hot, is again what I stated in the last win that they had, was that when Gary Trent comes with the bench, he comes in with the mentality to score a lot more than he normally does, because he is one of those guys. But it just seems like it. So when we got the bench unit with Malachi, Sivai, Gary Trent, I think it was Delano, no, was it Delano? But basically, and Yuta Watanabe. Yuta came back pretty strong, guys. He's looking good. He had a few block shots, he good energy and everything like that. I'm glad he's back, because he's going to give us a little bit of stability, because he's more of that veteran presence, you can say. But yeah, it's like at that time, the unit just got it going. They got us down back into the game. I think it got us up to 81, 85. Within the time they were on the court, and it got just Gary Trent going, and he had 17 points by the end of the fourth quarter, and got basically won us the game in that fourth quarter. And it seems like that is the unit. It seems like Nick Nurse needs to play all of these guys together more constantly, instead of more starters and a couple of bench guys. No, go with how we used to go with starters and then a bench mob. That's always been the Raptors, because we have that talent and we have that ability. And if you just want to insert one starter, and that starter be either Freddie or Gary Trent, be it. But other than that, most bench guys need to be able to play together to develop that chemistry, develop that understanding, so whenever they come into the game, they know what energy they need to bring and be able to bring that. So for example, Malachi can expect that Utah's going to bring that energy, so he doesn't have to. Whereas, for example, if Utah's not in that lineup, then Malachi doesn't know if he needs to bring it or not, and that's what's causing our energy issues too. So all of my three key takeaways from this game were all very, very interconnected, because today, when everybody had their chemistry going and doing well together, understanding and their roles and everything like that, the ball was humming. We were getting open, good shots. We were even making difficult shots. We were getting to the bucket. We were doing everything proper on the offensive end as well as the defensive end, because we clamped down. We only restricted them at, they had 71 points in the first half, and then they ended up with 42, or was it 52, whatever the math works. And we did what we could on the defensive end, what we do normally, and we won the game. Now, this, the deep, web search that I figured this out. So why Scottie Barnes was struggling, and it is Charles Barkley. Now, you guys don't, for those guys who don't know who Charles Barkley is, and for guys who do know, Charles Barkley is Hall of Famer, great player, one of the most entertaining announcer there is out there, but he is the biggest jinx ever, because his Chuck guarantees are one thing that always results in the opposite happening. You could pretty much go to Las Vegas and bet the opposite of what Charles is betting on, and in 99.9% of the time you will win, because Charles bet on the other thing. So recently, a week and a half ago, Charles guaranteed that Scottie Barnes was going to be the Rookie of the Year. Now, this is the same Charles Barkley who said last year that Detroit would make it to the playoffs. They were the first team in the lottery. The year that we won the championship, he said that the Bucks would win the series against us. They lost right after he said that, after their first 2 wins. And last year he said Phoenix would win after, they had, I think they won the first game or something, and they lost the series. So that tells you Charles Barkley has that jinx factor. I'm sorry, Mr. Charles Barkley, but please do take your guarantee from off of Scottie Barnes. Even though I think he's past it now, it took him a week and a half to get over it. But I think that contributed to, in addition to his rookie, slumps that are going to come through. But I think that jinx there had something to do with it, because he just jinxed him, I think a week and a half ago, and the 2 games after that, Scottie was crap. And now after brushing it off, he's back. He did a good job today, 17 points, but MVP goes to Gary Trent. And that's what I just wanted to have some fun with you guys on that one. So guys, that's all I have for you guys for this video. We have our next game against the Pacers, I believe, on Friday. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in America that celebrates. And I will see you guys after that game. We will win that game as well and go in hot going back home. So I will see you guys. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and keep talking them Raptors, guys.